How's it going, guys and girls? Be you, be unique. Welcome back to another video. And I'll tell you what, we're going to be talking about the brand new A24 movie, Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back. A24, love them or hate them, they do at least try and release relatively original content. As you know, they've made some great films over the time as well, like Midsommar. They've made good films like Lady Bird, which I actually thought was quite good, Ex Machina, Hereditary, The Witch, The Lighthouse, Under the Skin, Talk to Me, just to name a few. Those are, of course, some of the good titles. I really enjoyed Midsommar in particular. And it's got Florence Pugh in it. Who doesn't love Florence bloody Pugh? She is like an angel sent from heaven. But that's enough about that, because this table's going to lift up if I carry on. But anyway, talking about, of course, A24's new movie, the trailer that was recently dropped, Bring Her Back. I am quite looking forward to it. And as the story for this movie goes, another A24 movie, which I am looking forward to because I love A24, basically, a brother and sister witness a terrifying ritual at a secluded home of their new foster mother. Sounds scary enough to me. Let me read that again.
The brother and her sister witness a terrifying ritual at a secluded home of their new foster mother.
That sounds a bit more creepy for you. Anyway, look, I am quite looking forward to it because, like I said, with A24, when you look at movies like Hereditary, Midsommar and stuff like that, they do come up with original ideas. They do come up with some quite original content, or semi-original. It's very difficult to come up with something that's completely original because there's no real completely original content out there, for the simple fact that it's very difficult to actually create original stuff, because even when you think things haven't been done before, they've been done before. And this movie, to be fair, doesn't look as original as some of their past ones, like Midsommar, but you can even say probably Midsommar. Movies like Midsommar are slightly inspired by The Wicker Man, you know, but it's difficult to actually kind of conjure up something different. Even Talk to Me, which I actually felt was quite a good film, quite different at the time, I would probably have to say that even Talk to Me has kind of, you know, elements that you've seen in other horror films. So it is difficult, but one thing, like I said, I've always liked about A24 is that they continuously try and make original content. Now, one thing people always say about A24 is that they're obviously a bit weird, but one thing I have noticed, and that a lot of people have said as well, they kind of try and, like, there's always some kind of, like, religious path to a lot of their films. It's always, like, some kind of religious twist or something like that. Hereditary had something at the end where it was, like, a cultist thing to do with religion and something like that. I think Midsommar did something at the end as well where there was, like, a ritual sacrifice or something like that. And that's always the way kind of A24 films tend to end. It's almost a bit like ritualistic or something like that, or cultist. In fact, is that a word, cultist? Don't even know. But look, there's always some kind of religion-based thing, say. I think it is actually religion. I'm not sure if it's cultist or ritualistic. I think there's some cultist, ritual, religious shit going on in there, if that makes sense. And but like I said, I've always been a big fan of A24, and I'm looking forward to this film. So, you know, it's going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to. The release date is the 30th of May 2025 for the USA. I need to actually check when it actually drops in the United Kingdom, because I'm a British boy, you know what I mean? I'm a British boy, so I don't actually know when it drops in the UK, but the trailer's only recently dropped, so that's an interesting one. But like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think a lot of people are going to be quite excited for this film, and, you know, let's hope it's good. So, this movie is made by Michael Philippou, and Danny Philippou. Yes, Danny Philippou. Is that how you say it? Don't even know. But they've actually made other films as well. The most notable, in terms of the ones that I've actually personally seen, is Talk to Me. I think they were involved in Talk to Me, directive-wise, so that's I quite like that film. Like I said, it was quite an original concept at the time, relatively original concept, and also a movie that probably goes under the radar slightly is The Babadook. The Babadook, yeah. Anyway, that was quite a good film, I thought, as well. Quite a creepy film. So these guys have obviously got the creative spark in their mind. They've obviously got a bit of imagination, which is good. That's what you want, you know. You want directors with, you know, some kind of vision. You know, they're trying to conjure up different ideas and trying to be a bit more unique. I love that word. But yeah, like I said, they are obviously going to be trying to do that, which is good. So, let's just see. Let's just see how this movie pans out. But it is going to be interesting. It really is. Like I said, when I watched the trailer, I thought it looked really creepy. But they always have this kind of. This is the thing with A24 films, or anyone involved in A24 productions. Directively, and I keep saying directively. Is that even a word? As a director, let's just say as a director. There's always like these creepy camera angles. The scenes, the way people talk is a bit weird. The way the scenes are shot is a bit more weird. You'll always find that with A24 films. Scene by scene, it's a bit weird. The way the scenes are shot are a bit stranger than normal films. The dialogue's a bit more eerie or a bit weird compared to normal films. And I suppose that's another thing that makes A24 quite different, is that they do try and do everything quite different to other films. Also, along the way, trying to conjure up original ideas, which, like I said, is quite difficult, but they do give it a good bashing, you know what I mean? Another A24 film that I watched quite recently was actually Heretic. Is it Heretic? I thought that was quite a good film, quite a relatively good idea again. A guy, spoilers, of course, probably on the screen right now. Spoilers. Anyway, there's a guy who invites doesn't invite them. These two girls come to his house to preach about God or some shit, and then basically he shows them downstairs into this secret basement area that he's built, and he's got this set, and he's got two separate doors, and he says pick a door, and it becomes quite evident at this point that he's a freak show motherfucker. And basically he says, pick a door, goes down. The girls go down one of the doors. And then obviously all the horror begins and all this scary shit begins, and you realise he's a fucking maniac. It's a good film. Up until the end again, where I feel that A24 go into this kind of it's all about, the way they explain the stories, it almost feels like it's all about ritualistic stuff, like religious stuff almost. And Heritage had a bit of that at the ending as well. They always seem to go in that direction, A24, some kind of religious belief. It's always about some kind of cult religion or something like that. It's very strange the way, the narrative that they tend to shift in towards the end of their films. But like I said, it wasn't a bad movie either. And, like I said, one worth a watch, actually. It's one worth a watch, Heritage. One worth a watch for definite. But like I said, guys and girls, give me your thoughts on this new A24 movie. Are you looking forward to it? I am quite looking forward to it. It looks rather good, doesn't it, by the trailer? It really does. One thing I will say about this film as well is, because it's A24, I'm quite looking forward to it more than most films. And, I think that's just because of who they are. And this movie's going to be good. Bring her back. So, I am saying it's going to be good. It might be shit. But A24 movies I've always got a little bit extra kind of excitement for, because they do try and be a bit more original than most. And they do kind of shift away from the generic stuff, and they are a bit weird. They are a bit funky. And whoever's involved in making the A24 movies are very, very... They obviously share the same funky, weird mind as the A24 production team, because they tend to always be the same. The pattern of their films tends to always be the same. But let's hope for a good movie. Give me your thoughts on the trailer, and I will see you soon for another video. Remember, be you, be unique, and I'll see you soon.